Blessings and welcome. I am Tuesday May Thomas. This is your weekly tarot energy forecast. I'm so grateful to be with you. Thank you all of the new subscribers, and thank you for everyone joining me on my new live stream show, 4D Trinity. It's where we bridge fourth dimensional consciousness through understanding and embodying the unity of mind, body, and spirit. I'm so grateful. I just had my second show this week. I'm going to put a link here so you can check it out. Every Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm here. I did have a few technical issues with my YouTube, but I think that they're under wraps and becoming resolved. So I look forward to being more interactive with you in this next upcoming show next week, where we can actually do some more Q&A with your comments and questions. So again, thank you for sharing, liking, commenting, and welcome new subscribers. I'm so grateful for you to be here. Let's go ahead and get started. What we're doing is we are looking at this next week from October 30th through November 6th of 2017. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Whew, and a nice deep breath out. We're going to bless this reading and connect with our Most High, with our higher selves, with our angels, our guardians, those blessed angelic ones. We call you in, all those ascended masters and light beings that help to open the way and create a clarity of communication between me and everyone who's guided to participate in these readings. I welcome you. We welcome you. We welcome our totem animals and all those maybe loved ones that have passed from this life that are still here on some dimension, serving to illuminate us, illuminate our hearts and our minds along our path. I feel that we just had a popper in the card, so we'll make sure we grab that. And as well, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you to my angels, and thank you to all of those divine light emanations that allow me to be of service to communicate all those messages that are for the highest good of all. So whether you watch this reading for a short piece or you watch the whole thing, may you receive what you've come looking for. Okay, so we do have this popper down here. Oh, there was two of them. Interesting. We'll show you these first. Success and laziness. Okay, it's so interesting when we have replays from previous weeks. It means the theme is still ongoing and has not reached its full culmination yet. So let's go ahead and shuffle. And I am guided to split this into three. So I'm going to take one. Ooh, there was a few in the middle here. 1, 2, and 3. So these couple in the middle that I'm guided to pull are mind, ripeness, totally a review, and rebirth. Rebirth. Okay, so we have 5 cards. I'm being guided to choose the middle path, the middle deck, and I'm going to choose 2 cards. Beautiful. Integration. And one more from the top. I'm getting from the top. Maturity. Absolutely gorgeous. And if we're guided to call more, we will. So let's go ahead and set these cards up and take a look. You know, it's so interesting because what we have been going through has been this new dimension of understanding who we are in our right minds. You in your right mind is you being aligned with the highest love and light that you can possibly embody at any given time. And it is in this way, when we honor that truth in our hearts, in our minds, in our bodies, that gives rise to us experiencing success in the world. And this success can be monetary success, it can be a healing, health success, it can be success in you just wanting to wake up every morning and greet the day with a blessing and welcome in the blessings that are. It can be you getting over addictions, depression. Success can be a new project launching with blazing love and light. So all the ways that success is true to you in this life is where we're at. And especially, I always say this, I'm not an astrologer, but I love astrology, and I know that Jupiter is going to be working a lot of massive gifts in our world over this next 12 or 13 month period. But what it means is that it's an invitation for us to step up into greater levels of who we know ourselves to be, and to begin to embody, express, and experience that. And as we do that, this gives rise to us receiving our divine inheritance, and so embodying success in the world, bringing down from the heavens those divine gifts that are intuitively and intrinsically yours, giving them voice, giving them body, giving them visuals, giving them a place to ground in this earth. And what happens is when we do that, when we get out of our own way and out of our fears, is we allow that which is yours, that which is ours, to bridge down through us and co-create heaven on earth. And when we do that, we light up a very specific grid that is a grid of collective consciousness that operates outside of the world. It is in the world and not of it. And so as we begin to allow ourselves to honor the truth within ourselves, that's a success in itself. Being honest with yourself, being able to voice and express your honest truth in the world, that is a gift to the world. When you start showing up in your true power and authority, embodying your full conscious awareness and exemplifying and embodying who that is, waving your freak flag, wearing your pirate hat, whatever it is, or like me, videotaping a live ceremony with the medicine, with ayahuasca. I never thought in my whole life that that would be something that I would do. Yet it was an invitation from Source, from the divine, and I said yes, and there it is. Some wisdom, some divine seeds came up. I'll put a link here. It's very powerful, and I honor it, absolutely. But this is what I'm saying. It's also in regard to my personal life, it's me being invited from my divine higher self, Source and guides, to do the live streams. Now that's something that I always kind of wanted to have a show. I didn't know how it would look or what it would be. Talk about the teachings, yet still that was me stretching myself, getting outside of my comfort zone and doing something new, learning to embody all that I've already know, those gifts that are mine, and bring them into the world in a greater way. So this week, where can you keep pushing past the boundaries? Where can you keep pushing past those old limitations of mind, of emotions, of the way that you would react in the world, and begin to respond in a way that co-creates success for you? And it's interesting, the topic this week and the 4D Trinity live stream was, the themes we were talking about were being a master of your time and space, and connecting as your higher self and co-creating from that place. So please do check it out if that's something of interest to you and it's something that you feel you could learn from. Because what happens is, you know, we become complacent when we give rise to and allow those old patterns of limitation and of fear to rule our lives. And sometimes, often, it's very even unconscious that we allow this to happen. But when we do that, what happens is we become congested mentally. This character here, this card is all about the mind and the clouds of the mind, the mechanics of the mind. And this person is going crazy. They are being driven crazy because they are so in their mind, not in their body. They're not connecting with their spirit. They're not allowing themselves to sit in truth with their emotional realizations, whatever they are, to feel them, to purge them, to feel what is happening, to bring it outside of the mind. There's also an aspect of control. When we think too much, we are planning. We are planning on behalf of ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yet there's a divine plan and a divine source that's ready to work with us at any given moment. All we have to do is switch from thinking that we know what the answers are. Even if you feel that you know what the answers are, you still relinquish that and you give it to something greater than you. You give it to Source. You give it to your angels. You give it to God. You give it to Holy Spirit, whatever name you give it, the universe. And you say, help me to get out of my mind. Help me to release these paradigms of limitation that are driving me crazy. So often we entertain thoughts that really keep us limited, that are grounded and anchored in self-doubt and self-hate, self-limitation, whether it be about our bodies, whether it be about our work, our career, our health, our families, our relationships, our intimacy, our ability to express and experience sex and sexuality with healthy boundaries, and to be able to voice and communicate and listen. And all these things are so important. If we don't drop into the heart and come from a place of wisdom and compassion from the heart, then the mind takes rule. And when the mind takes rule, this gets further and further away. Your true innate success, the crowning of your inheritance to meet you in a divine way, bridging heaven on earth through your body, mind, and emotions in this plane, that becomes further and further. It seems like it's ungraspable, unattainable. It comes further and further away from our strata of being. And what these thoughts do, these limiting thoughts, what they do, self-doubt thoughts, fear-based thoughts, is they create a condition of laziness within us that is becomes procrastinatory and doesn't want to move from where it's at. And believe me, there's levels of success where we can say, I'm content, I'm happy. And I think that's really important to be able to know, as I say in my yoga classes with yoga poses, you got to know when to hold it, know when to fold it, know when to walk away, like that old Kenny Rogers song. Because not every pose is for you. Maybe one day is different from another day. And not every teacher is for you, maybe. And it's important to begin to learn what thoughts are for you. What thoughts are against you? What words are you speaking over your life, over your body, over your situations that are giving rise to you feeling and experiencing liberation, sovereignty, and freedom versus being bound by limitation, fear, pain, the past? So all this stuff is that all that mind stuff, when it's given, those wild horses of thoughts, when they're just given the reins and we feel that we're just being dragged by life, what we get to do is we get to remember that we can be a master of our time and space. We can move out of these shields of laziness. And there's different levels of success and to be celebrated each step of the way. And we can become lazy. And it's not a bad thing to just rest where you are, to hold to fold, as Kenny Rogers says. Yet, if you know for you that the universe is saying, okay, how are you going to break through to the new paradigm? We are inviting you, your angels, your guides are inviting you to take a new step in a new direction using all the tools and the gifts that you already have. What are your tools? What are your gifts? We all have them. You're being invited, especially if you know, you're being invited to keep going, one success after another. Sure, it can be one success, but you're invited to multiply 3 by 3 by 3 your successes through all dimensions, through all time and space. But that's not going to happen as long as you keep doing those practices that encourage you to procrastinate, to stay put, and to not change. A lot of spiritual healing and spiritual growth involves change. All the work of being in a realm of self-help and practicing self-love spiritually is about you consciously co-creating the conditions and the circumstances whereby you can express and experience that self-love and then share that love with others. And what happens is, as we keep recognizing, we keep maybe having one success, and then we get stuck and we get relaxed and we start letting the old thoughts come, and then we're like, and it kind of keeps us like jelloed into this one space of being, and we're like, well, I'm just, if you're dealing with addiction, I'll just have another drink, I'll just take another hit, I'll just, whatever it is, I'm very comfortable here, I'm very comfortable, I jumped through the hoop, I did it, and now I'm going to take time off. And it's saying, of course there's time to refuel, to meditate, to regenerate, yet where we're at right now is you are being prepared to have one success after another, after another, after another. And that's the invitation this week, is to recognize that. October, 30th through November 6th of 2017, another rebirth is on the rise. So we had this card a while back, maybe a month or so ago. And this is where we go from the dull, from the unconscious. The camel represents that which is unconscious. And where we go from that beingness of unconscious into finding our roar, or our I am here in the lion's roar. And from that roar, embodying those qualities that, again, are maybe challenging or maybe frightening. I was nervous as anything on my first live stream. My hands were shaking. I couldn't believe how nervous I was, but it was exciting too, because I was entering a new domain. It was a new territory, so I could stretch and expand and grow. So where can you stretch and expand and grow? Where can you move out of those unconscious patterns? In fact, how do you know? Because they're unconscious. Well, what happens is, as you do the work and you just even say, I want to be more aware. I'm going to practice greater self-awareness in my path. Well, what's going to happen is you're going to be more aware of the situations that are occurring, those that are serving you and those that are not serving you, those that liberate you and those that serve to bind you to the continuation of a pattern of pain, of a pattern that repeats itself, that keeps you held and locked into this. When where we're going with that mind stuff is we're breaking through from the patterns of the mind into this rebirth, which is a 10, which is you meditating. We always say it, meditate, 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 bringing yourself into oneness with all that is so that you can tap the 0 point, which is the almighty love, the almighty power of love, that you will be reunited with a power that is you, but that is also greater than you, that is your wisdom, but that also contains a greater wisdom than you as an individualized being contains, as identified as the self, right? There's something greater. There's a wisdom greater. And it's by tapping into that and allowing that, giving way to that, that allows us to be aware of those unconscious thoughts that are dominating our world, that are keeping us bound to the past. And as we break through those, that truth, that sense of who you are, that those invitations that universe is giving you and saying, like, one success after another, come on, are you ready? Are you game? Take a chance. Trust. Remember, trust was a big one last week. Trust your heart. Trust the intuition, the guidance you're getting this week, because it's there to fuel you. It's there to get you off the couch. It's there for you to take a breath and take a walk instead of having another glass of wine or continuing in not exercising when you've been, saying to yourself you want to start getting motivated and getting exercising. It's making those choices that will help to create the correct conditions so that you can realize that you are fierce, that you have something here to give, to be, to embody, no matter whether you are terminally ill in a hospital or whether you are, or whether you're rich, whether you're poor, no matter what you think you are. You are more than that. You are not just a body. You are a multidimensional being. And we begin to embody and remember that more and more as we have the courage to move forth into our success. And what I love here is at the top of this, above the lion, so we go from dull, unconscious to conscious to like doing the work and like, "Rawr, I'm back in my power, hear me roar," to this beautiful, graceful innocence of the child. There's a child then. The evolution, the camel to the lion to the child, and this evolution speaks to us being innocent, embodying an innocence which is free of the chains that bound us to the uninnocent, to thinking we know, to thinking that all there is are these repetitive patterns of pain and of fear and of limitation. The child is innocent. The child is living in the pure present moment of being. They are not bound. They are not bound by the past, and that's the invitation this week. Woo! This is hot. Okay, so now our bottom cards, which are very powerful. The middle and the only master card in this reading, the major arcana, is integration. And this is so powerful. This is showing us that we have been doing the work. So even if you're feeling, this comes up, and this is normal. That comes up, the laziness, I've done enough, I'm going to just take it easy, when in fact more success is knocking at your door and inviting you. And the rebirth, the next level of rebirth, which is always happening. There are periods of rest, but you've been doing the work, and it's a beautiful thing. And this card shows that. It shows that you are understanding how you co-create your reality. It's showing that you are working on, by practicing self-love and self-awareness, there's a natural alignment of male-female, of yin-yang aspects within you. There's a balance that is met. You come into a balance, and all of the wisdom that you are channeling as you meditate, as you hold a sacred order, as you hold space for yourself in nature, as you do those things that perpetuate your wellness, that give rise and create correct conditions for your gifts to be bestowed into the world. Those become fortified and they expand. So think of the gifts that you already embody. And can you imagine those times 3 times 3 times 3? That's where we're being invited to go this week. That's where we're being ready to go this week. We're being invited. And what card is right next to it is ripeness, and we had this recently. So again, another fruit is falling from the tree. This is a card of the earth, of grounding, and of saying, like, in this world, in this dimension, you've been doing so much in the multidimensional aspects of who you are, mind, body, emotions, and you are meeting up through that trinity, through that conscious unity. It is catching up with you in the world. And we had a fruit drop from the tree. I think that was like last month or a couple weeks ago when we had the baby, when we birthed ourselves. We rebirthed a new project, whatever it might be, some new aspect in our life. And that was just the beginning to this next level of success. You're ready. The fruit has dropped. Another fruit has dropped this week. So you are ready. The universe is saying you have been preparing. You've been creating the amazing amazing, amazing blueprint within yourself that is connected to a source outside of yourself that gives rise to your fruits dropping to the earth so that you can bring them to earth, so that you can greater share. So any limiting negative thoughts that make you think that you're not ready, you're not good enough, no one's going to show up, you have a gig, you want to go perform at a cafe, you're a singer-songwriter, but your self-doubt, I'm not going to remember the words, I'm going to get dry mouth, I can't do this, I got to do that. You know, all the things that just bind us into a stress mode. You can either have that, but you know better. You know better. That's what this is showing us through this integration. You know better. And you're ready. You are ready. You are ready. And it's so beautiful because what is our crowning card is maturity. And I know these cards are pretty old. It's a little worn out. But this is maturity. And look at this. This is the heart, the throat, the third eye, and the crown. You are being crowned. You know, when you can speak from a place of the heart, when you can listen from a place of the heart and express and communicate through a place of the heart, when you can do that through your voice, through your words, through your throat chakra, that is a direct reflection of your ability to see those aspects of love and light from the inside out. That is you accessing third eye vision. That is you accessing trinary consciousness that is out of time, that is out of space, that is in the world and not of it. You are being crowned this week if you shall receive your crown. So remember, that was the theme the last couple of weeks, where it's like your divine inheritance is coming. It's here. It's coming. It's coming to land. It's coming for you to receive it and to be embodied in this new encapsulation, this newer version of who you are, which is the same. It's all the good stuff, but it's highlighting. It's uplifting all of that good. Again, 3 by 3 by 3. This is very, very powerful. Maturity. This is you using the integration of all of this that you have learned and that you are learning. Whether you feel that you're a baby taking baby steps, those baby steps are just enough. Whether you feel that your life is taking you leaps and bounds, then those leaps and bounds are perfect for you. This is about you embodying the master that you are. Being a master of your time and space, which is the main theme on this last week's live stream. Being a master of your time and space. Maturity. This is you having the courage to go to the point in creation of all of these limiting thoughts, forms. This is you having the courage to get off the couch, to get out of those limiting addictions and patterns that kept you as that old version of yourself. This is you saying yes to rebirth, saying, I'm going to dismantle all that old stuff, hear me roar, and once you roar, you relax, and you realize that life is but a dream, and you regain a sense of innocence, a relinquish of control. And when we embody maturity, we get there through doing the work, again, of dismantling all that is not in alignment with your higher self, that is the other version of you, the limited version of you. As that releases and is resolved, well, what is always present, you in your divine, almighty, majestic, embodied self, as your higher self, is free to be sovereign, is free to reign the domain of your life. Dig it. That is so cool. And so, but it's through doing the work. It's like, it's the difference between saying, you know, reading books on healing, you know, yes, watching shows on healing, reading books, blogs, you know, all, like kind of informing yourself and educating yourself in the realm of what it means to heal your life, what it means to embody greater self-love, what it means to be liberated from the past. It's all that stuff, but it's not just the reading of the books and the reading of the blogs and the watching of the shows. It's the actual you doing the work. And it's you doing the work that gives you the experience of what it means to traverse that terrain. And as you traverse that terrain, you are brought into initiation, your own personal spiritual apprenticeship with that which is, that you may embody the maturity that is your crowning glory of being a master in your time and space. You know, a master and a mature, wise person is living through the conscious awareness and the wisdom of their past experiences. If you never turn over stones, if you never look at you and you don't work on your stuff, right? Whether it's family, it's health, it's relationships, it's sex, sexuality, whatever, all money, all this stuff, career, whatever all the resistance is that withholds you from experiencing greater love, if you don't look at that and if you don't work on that, this is not going to happen. Your crowning glory of you knowing what it feels like to embody your full power and authority, that being your ability to choose love, your ability to know from your own experience of traversing the dark night of the soul, of going there, of healing your stuff, of working it out to the best that you can, and little by little. Sometimes it's spontaneous and all sorts of karma just drops off and it's a whole new world. And sometimes it's just, it takes a while. Sometimes it takes years, sometimes it takes months, but you don't know until you get on the road. So this is what's waiting for us this week, is this maturity, is this crowning glory, where you grow into your crown. You grow into your crown, if you should choose it. You grow into being and embodying the royalty that you are, that you already are. You are remembering. Keep practicing. Meditate, meditate, meditate. Keep practicing. Keep your channels open. Keep connecting to that which is the cosmic and galactic divine logos, the divine wisdom of the universe that is beyond the world. You are ready. The fruit has fallen from the tree. What can you do this week to continue supporting and blessing the success in your life so that you can go from success to success to success? That's what we're here to do. Well, it's one of the things that we can choose to experience, and it's up this week. It's so exciting. You are invited to embody your full success. You are invited to embody the integration. You've been working on yourself. Keep it up. Keep going. Keep going. Keep allowing and blessing your rebirth, blessing your healing, blessing others, blessing your life and yourself, allowing that sweet integration to bring you a crowning culmination of you embodying and being this new wisdom self, your new crown. And see how that feels in the work and in the world. And I know it's a trip when you go from being, protecting yourself through limiting thoughts, patterns, and actions. We are protecting ourselves because of those ills and those hurts of the past. But as we dismantle, we release, we heal, we forgive, all that stuff fades away. And we are free to be the truest version of ourselves. And you know what? That true version becomes shinier and shinier and shinier the more you say yes to love, the more you say yes to you and to the truth in your heart. What a blessing. I am Tuesday Mae Thomas. I am a Heaven on Earth ambassador here to teach self-mastery. Thank you so much for subscribing to this YouTube channel. Please do subscribe to my website, TuesdayMaeThomas.com. The link is in the description box below. When you do, you will receive a free copy of my mini ebook, The Higher Self, Blueprint of Mastery, and you'll also receive 1 or 2 newsletters from me every month. I'm so very grateful. I'm so very excited to be on this journey with you. Now, are you going to show up? Keep showing up. Keep blessing yourself. Keep blessing others. So much love, so much light. Namaste.